Hello, everybody, and welcome to WTS 165. I am Portlaoise's greatest heel, Danny Murray.
I'm Graham Merrigan.
How are you, Merrow?
Good. How are you? Graham Merrigan.
Graham Merrow,
As
Merrigan.
people like to say. I'm good. And yourself?
Man, I am living the dream of every heel out there. I'm embracing this new role, and people
Your
are taking it as well. So
your gimmick.
that's it. It's not a gimmick, Merrow. This is real to me, damn it.
Remember that clip, Dan?
Unbelievable, mate.
I
Oh,
wonder if he's still around.
It's like, well, yeah, that clip's it's like a good age
That's
now, wouldn't it?
that must be late 90s, early 2000s. The clip we're
Easily.
talking about is a wrestling clip where I think Terry Funk and another couple of old time wrestlers were doing a Q&A, and it comes to an American guy, and
A fully fledged adult, might we add, not like, do you
a
know what I mean?
fully fledged adult back then when we were still in school, and he was complimenting the guys and thanking them for sacrificing their bodies, and he starts crying and goes, "It's real mean, damn it!"
Bless him. Bless his
Uh,
heart was in the right
did you
place, though.
send me a gif? Did you send me a gif of him before?
I think I might have, yeah. I think I might have.
He's on
On
gif.
WhatsApp. Yeah, it's a GIF.
Oh,
Um,
right.
yeah, so this is WTS 165. Great reaction to you and McKenna last week. So
Yeah.
thanks for listening, lads. Brazil is a mad kip.
It's always
And
great to talk to you, and isn't it?
he's a gent. He's absolutely brilliant. This week has been a bit mad, and with the American midterms happening, and with the whole Trump firing his attorney general and all that kind of crack, we had hoped to talk to a guest whose name we can't reveal because she doesn't even reveal it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's anonymous. Like she
Didn't
goes,
notice.
yeah, she goes under the moniker of AG. And she has a podcast called Mueller, She Wrote, and basically that podcast follows and documents the Mueller investigation into Trump. It's kind of like it's obviously serious, but also it's done in a comedic way. Like she has a couple of comedians on it with her and that kind of thing.
How do we know it's a she?
Well, she sounds very feminine, and
Oh, okay.
well, when I say like I know her name because she's revealed it to me through email as I've been trying to get her onto the podcast.
Oh, okay.
But obviously I'm not going to reveal that because well, I'm sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't be scared.
Exactly.
If you were a real heel, you'd probably reveal the name, but you're just living the gimmick.
No, man, no. You see, if I was a real heel, I would do exactly what I'm doing, and that's not give a damn what the people want. And I don't care if they want to know our name. I'm not telling them. They're not important enough. I'm important enough to know our name. But anyway, this podcast, Mueller, She Wrote. Great name for a podcast, by the way.
Great name for a podcast.
Yeah,
Did you ever used to watch Mother She Wrote?
If it was on, so like whenever I'm coming home from school sometimes, and it might be on because my ma had it on, and I just sit there eating me lunch after I came home from school watching it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly when I used to watch it. It used to be
Yeah.
on after Neighbours.
Was it after Neighbours? Was it? I remember that, and I remember. Do you remember the show called Bread?
Oh, Bread was so
I
unreal.
loved Bread.
The Scousers.
Yeah, the Scousers. Yeah.
I loved the intro, man.
Oh, what a song! Yeah, it was an absolute banger.
Bread was brilliant, man. I haven't heard of that in fucking
I
years.
know. Yeah, Bread and Murder She Wrote were a staple in my gaff.
Oh, we need to get Bread on Netflix.
We do, yeah. There's our campaign. Hashtag Bread for Netflix. But anyway, sorry. Back to this. Mueller, She Wrote, and the anonymous host who we had hoped to speak to, and we had it all sorted out. We actually tried to speak to a number of weeks ago, but it fell through, and then we arranged for it to speak on Wednesday night after the results from the American midterms came out, and then Trump fired Jeff Sessions, his attorney general, which is utterly bonkers, lads. That entire situation is just a big bag of fucking crazy diseased frogs. And with time zones and with everything else and all that. The reason she doesn't reveal her name, by the way, is because she works in the administration. Now, I don't know where, she hasn't said where or anything like that, but apparently she works
The
in...
Trump administration?
She just says that the White House administration. She's something to do with the government and the White House administration. I don't know what. The reason she doesn't reveal her name is because obviously she's worried she could lose her job.
Oh my God! And she agreed to come on their podcast.
Yeah, she was going to come on their podcast, and then just because of everything that happened, because of time zones and because of everything else, it couldn't. We would have ended up having to wait up till about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning to speak to her. It was just it wouldn't have worked out, so we had to unfortunately cancel it. And hopefully we'll be able to arrange to get her back on. But in the meantime, the reason I'm telling you all this, lads, is because genuinely I think you should go and listen to Muller Shootout. It is really good podcast. It's three women, and they're really pushing the whole kind of women in podcasting front, which is good to see as well. And like, it's just you learn from it. If you've any interest in the Mueller investigation, if you've any interest in what's going on with Trump and the madness that is the White House in 2018, have a listen to that podcast.
Yeah, so if you're into American politics, you'd love it, would you?
I really think you would. Yeah, it's very, very
it's
good.
It's real House of Cards stuff, West Wing stuff.
It's more so just they kind of break it down, and they do it in a kind of light-hearted way, but also in a kind of like, seriously, this is actually happening. This isn't like fiction. This is actually happening. And it's only when you kind of hear them talking about it and distilling it a little bit more that you realise how ridiculous the situation is. They also do this kind of...
Does she hide her voice or anything like that on the podcast?
No, she doesn't.
So she's very brave, like...
I don't know, because I don't know how much of it is that, like we're talking about gimmicks. I'm not sure how much of it is a gimmick. I'm not sure if it started as a kind of, I'm going to remain anonymous. I can't... Yeah. I'm going to withhold my identity. Because she genuinely did fear for her job. But I think as time has maybe gone by, she's kind of saying, maybe I don't need to be as secretive as I was, like, because they have given little kind of... and I think if you wanted to find out who she was, you could. But
if that's the case, like, surely she'd be sacked.
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Like, I don't know enough about what her actual job is, other than, like, I know she doesn't reveal her identity because of that. Like, I'm probably making this out to be far more of a secret, and when you actually listen to the podcast, you realise that, like, it's a little bit more comedic than I'm letting on, but it's comedic while also being very serious and giving you a lot of facts about Trump and the Mueller investigation and the indictments, and when the two boys were found guilty there about a month or so ago and all that crack as well. Like, great podcast, worth a listen.
Still around, anyway.
Yeah. But,
and with sacking his AG,
utterly fucking insane.
And bringing in one of his mates. He's going to be he's going to stay the term anyway. Can he be done after his term?
I presume so. I don't think there's a statute of limitations that extends to just his term of presidency, but I presume they want to get him while he's president to impeach him and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, ultimately, if he's found to have interfered in the democratic process with a foreign power, it's essentially treason. Do you know what I mean? I could be
he's
wrong.
He's out there serving his term.
It doesn't matter if he served his term; he's still guilty of. You know what I mean? So,
but my point on that is that the way all the executive orders that he pulled while he's been in power, will they become null and void, or is everything just still the same? Or
I think basically it would take another president to the status quo would remain until somebody else comes along and is like, all right, as president, I'm going to execute my executive power to, blah blah blah. The same way he basically used his executive power to undo all of what Obama done.
Yeah.
So somebody else can just come along now and be like, right, tit for tat, I'm going to use my executive power to reinstate the Obama Act and get rid of what Trump done. Like, it's...
And what you know, right? With what you know of American politics and with what you know of the midterm election results, does that tell anything for the future? Does that tell us that it's likely that he'll serve a second term if he wants?
I personally don't see him getting a second term. I don't see him getting a second term.
Do you see him running for a second term?
I'm probably 70% no, 30% yeah. I think with the Democrats taking the House of Representatives, that brings impeachment a little bit closer. And with Trump, if you had asked me before he fired Jeff Sessions, I probably would have said I'm 50-50. But since he fired Jeff Sessions, all he's done there is put the cat amongst the pigeons, because now the Democrats are going to come along and they're going to be like, you can't just install Matthew Whitaker, your mate, who has said openly and on CNN and in fucking opinion articles that he thinks the Mueller investigation is going too far and that it shouldn't be happening. You can't put him as the man in charge of Mueller. What are you playing at? So, at the time we're recording this,
So how's he allowed to do it then?
the president appoints the attorney general. So
yeah, but if he's already been outspoken against, he's not going to be impartial.
Well, this is the whole thing. So, right, so Jeff Sessions, for example, was a Trump supporter. He was one of the first governors to come out and support Trump. I think he used to be a governor for Alabama. And he was one of the first ones to come out and support Trump's presidential campaign. And then he got installed as the Attorney General. And there's an ethics committee for the DOJ, the Department of Justice in America, and they essentially sat down and they said, look, based on your support of Trump and based on your previous comments and previous actions, we don't think you should be the man that Robert Mueller, special counsel Robert Mueller, reports into. You should recuse yourself from the investigation. Jeff Sessions, being a somewhat decent politician, was like, yep, I'm loyal to the Department of Justice, I'm loyal to the American people, more so than I'm loyal to the president. I'll recuse myself. So he steps back, which infuriates.
What does recuse himself mean?
Basically means he's not going to be involved in the investigation. He's not going to do anything. He's going to just step back and be like, right, Mueller can do the investigation. The special counsel continue the investigation, and he will bring his findings and he'll report into somebody else. I can't be involved because it would be a conflict of interest.
Right.
So he does this. He does and Trump fucking flips a lid. And then for the last 18 months, you've had a situation where Trump, in press conferences and in interviews and on the TV, has had digs at Sessions at every possible opportunity. And everybody has expected him to be fired. Everybody expected him to be fired long before now. It's just bizarre that Trump chose to do it hours after he loses the House of Representatives. You know what I mean? It's just, the Republicans don't control the House of Representatives, so then all of a sudden he's like, yep, alright, grand, I'm going to fucking fire him. So he fires him, he installs this Matthew Whitaker guy, who was a pro-Trump guy, an anti-Mueller guy, and straight away people are like, well, if he doesn't recuse himself, we could have a constitutional crisis here. And if we have a constitutional crisis, what the fuck is going to happen? And in the background to all this, and this is the part that I think a lot of people are forgetting, that's something I think that a lot of people who want to see Trump go are forgetting as well. If Trump is impeached and if Trump is brought down, it doesn't go to an election. Mike Pence takes over. And it's not as if Mike Pence is a fucking dreamboat either. This is a man who believes he can pray the gay away. Do you know what I mean? Like, we are not talking about...
Does he actually think he can pray the guy away?
Yeah, genuinely. He's one of them lads. He's one of them lads where he's like, oh, homosexuality's a sin, but we're going to pray for you and the Lord is going to cure you. You know what I mean? And I'm like, is the Lord going to fucking cure you? Yeah, absolute dope. Like...
He believed in shock therapy as well, didn't he?
Shock therapy as well, yeah. All that kind of stuff, yeah, you know. It's... Like, America is a basket case at the moment. And I feel sorry for like, just ordinary, decent Americans who are just like, what the fuck, man? Like, I went out to get some Krispy Kremes. I come back and this is what I'm fucking coming back to. You know what I mean? Like, it's just insane. So, look, I don't know. Like, at the time we're recording this, Whitaker is the acting Attorney General. He more than likely will be appointed Attorney General by Trump in the coming days, if not weeks. And if he does not recuse himself from the Mueller investigation, it's like I don't know how it can proceed with any kind of integrity. I don't know how this is a bloke who said that, you know, Mueller's investigation, if it went anywhere near investigating Trump's personal finances, that was a red line issue and should be shut down. He also then said that if he was in charge, he would fire Jeff Sessions, and he would just cut off all of Mueller's budget to the point whereby the investigation ground to a halt and Mueller could no longer proceed. And it's kind of like he said these things publicly. It's not like he said these things privately to Trump. These are all being said publicly and like on CNN and everything, and yet Trump's like, yep, he's now in charge of the investigation. And it's like, what? The equivalent of that murder would be like letting Jerry Adams investigate, some of the IRA activities of the years gone by.
It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's utterly insane.
It's mental that it's allowed to get away with it, but sure, it's House of Cards stuff by about 100.
Yeah, that's like the House of Cards final season started on Netflix recently, and
did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet. And as much as people might think that the final season is down to Kevin Spacey being a diddler and a scumbag, it's not. It's because House of Cards can no longer be real life. That's what is happening here. Like, it is just.
I started. I'm about 4 episodes in, and or am I 4 or 5 episodes in? It was 1 or 2 episodes to get into it.
Yeah.
But I like Claire as the main role.
Yeah. Claire is a good character in that show, man. Really strong character. Yeah. So.
Very sexy character. Reminds me of Tony Soprano's wife in The Sopranos.
Yeah,
stunner.
Yeah, I know you love The Sopranos. I just couldn't get into it, man. Just try it. try it.
Sure.
But,
Ross.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so America's a mad kip, basically. I don't know what else to say other than like it's a fucking mad kip. Right now it is the arsehole of the world. If you were if you were given the world, in the words of Bret Hart, if you were given the world an enema, the hose would go straight into America. Know what I mean?
Remember, he said that when he toured heel, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. The best heel turn. the best heel turn since, up until I turned heel, obviously.
Yeah.
But anyway, what have you been up to, Mero, since I last seen you on Monday night at a U2 concert in the Point Depot in Dublin?
We were at U2. We were at U2, and it, like, the more I think about it, like, I enjoyed U2. I just felt it was underwhelming at the end. And I don't know whether that was a Monday night thing, but I don't know if I was totally happy with the set list.
Do you know what? I thought the song that they finished with was very disappointing. Because
so what song did they finish with again?
13, There Is a Light, it's called.
Very somber song to finish with.
Do you know what it is, right? It is a good...
Very Monday night song.
It's a good song, but it's just... I'd rather go home from a concert on a high than with the kind of feeling that song leaves you with. And I get it. It's kind of wind it down and all that, whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know. It wouldn't have been the song I'd like to have finished with. That said,
yeah.
There was a couple of songs in that set list that were fucking bangers, and that I had never heard.
Wild Horses, I didn't expect them to play.
Yeah, I was going to play Wild Horses. They played Acrobat. I've seen U2 live about 14 times, man, and I've never heard either of those two live. They played Gloria, which is a belter from the early days. Nothing from the Joshua Tree at all.
But I checked up the set list, the different set lists on the tour.
Yeah,
and I think the odd time they're taking one song out for another or whatever. But the set list I checked, I think it was from Belfast, and I had one of my favourite songs on it, "Hold Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, Thrill Me," and I remember saying to you on the car in, I said, they play "Hold Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, Thrill Me." I've seen it on the set list. I'm right there, but they don't play it. They play it over the bleeding audio. They went for the 10-minute intermission, and they played a cartoon on the screen, and it was "Hold Me, Kiss." It's like, oh, you're gotta be joking me. You looked at me and you went, "Oh, that's a bit disappointing, isn't it?"
Yeah. Like I'm the same as you. I'd love to hear them play that song, and then I was wait, hang on, they're gone on an interval. Oh no, that's just playing over a video on the big fucking screen thing. That screen is amazing, man.
Set list now.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the screen was amazing.
Like that screen thing is ridiculous. And I suppose that's probably why the set list doesn't change that much, because like all the videos and all the kind of like the video screen is kind of interactive or whatever. Like so,
Yeah, yeah, that's fair
it's
enough.
kind of. But look, it was a good show. I really enjoyed it, and I mean we were
It's a
rubbing
good
show.
show. It was probably the worst of the U2 gigs I've ever been to.
Would you put it down that low? Would you think so?
Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
yeah, I've seen good U2 gigs. I just thought I don't know whether it was a Monday night, the crowd were a bit quiet.
It took the crowd a
Uh,
while to get warmed up. Yeah, I agree with you.
even when even when they went off, like if you go to a gig and the performer goes off and you know they're gonna come back for the encore, you still give it socks, do you know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I think
The
maybe as well though, because we were sitting in a section that was
people were
full.
leaving though.
Yeah, and we were sitting in a section that was full of celebrities. And it's kind of like I don't know, I couldn't help but people watch a little bit, and it was like they were afraid to let loose, and just the atmosphere locally to where we were was a little bit little bit drab until they kind of, I think the second, well no actually some of the songs the first half, but I just think in general it was like if it was a new song they had no interest in it, and if it was an old song they were up giving it loads. You know what I mean?
That's a perfect
Um,
summary.
but
But no, it was good for the Monday night.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
good to see it.
and we were rubbing shoulders at Miggledy Higgins, you
Yeah,
know. So
yeah. We're out later in the week. Well, as we're recording this, I haven't yet finished it, but I signed up to a course with the HSC. It's called Assist. It means Applied Suicide Intervention Skill Training.
okay,
Um, so um, it's essentially first aid for suicide.
okay, right,
Yeah. So I'm not haven't finished it yet as I said, but so far it's been absolutely amazing. Like it's just been now I've done it. I'm not doing it for myself as such because I don't have any issues. I'm doing it just because I want to do it. Like we did the fundraiser for Suicide or Survive, and then we did the workshop, and then talking to Caroline, she was recommending this to me, and Keith was recommending this to me. And then when I came back from Orlando, I went into work and I was like, I must check my annual leave days. Turned out I have 20 days left in November, from November.
how
So I don't know. I actually don't know.
you're a pox American.
Absolute pox. I couldn't believe it. So I just said, "Feck it, I'll inquire and see if this course is on." So it is on. I'm doing it down in Bray, and as I said, I haven't finished it yet, but I would already recommend anyone to do it.
Okay,
If you've done a CPR first aid, you should do this. You might have done the CPR first aid, but you've never used it. And hopefully, if you do and hopefully I won't never need to use it, but I'm now prepared to help somebody if they're in that vulnerable state of mind where they feel like they have had suicide thoughts.
I'm just gonna jump back for a minute there. You use a double negative, but which makes it a positive. Is that hopefully
What did I do?
I won't never need to. Can you?
Did I say that?
Yeah, can you just look? I know,
Hopefully I'll never need to use it.
I know. Sometimes the ballybracken you just comes out a little bit too much. But if you could just, we're a sophisticated podcast, right? We're not Tom O'Mahony's podcast.
Oh,
Ah,
that's what I did during the week as well. I recorded with Tom O'Mahony.
yeah, you did. Yeah, tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, recorded it out in the Laughter Lounge.
Yeah,
Um, it's Tom's. We've had Tom on the podcast before. I look at Tom and he just makes me laugh. He's got that face.
yeah, he's a
Yeah,
messer. He's a
he's
messer.
an absolute messer. His podcast obviously we know was called Bugshot. And yeah, we didn't really talk about anything specifically. We just had the crack.
Good. So
Good. Are you in a
so
sulker there?
so he brought you on with no agenda at all, and
No.
yet I wasn't even consulted. I wasn't asked. I wasn't. I wasn't informed.
You were informed by me.
Many moons ago where you said he had asked you and that was it. There was none of this, it's happening, Dan. I'm going here, blah, blah, blah. I'm just left on the side. For what is now, the fourth podcast you've done with it? I'm not saying I'm jealous or bitter, but what I'm saying is people are going to start thinking that you are the brains of the operation, and I'm not willing to have that, Meryl. I'm not willing to have that.
No. I actually said.
You can be out there. You can be out there being the face of the podcast all you want, right? I'm fine with that.
I said on Tom's podcast that I'm the face that runs the place. Danny does all the important things.
Oh yeah, you're making me out to be our little fucking grafter. That's what you're doing, are you? Making me out to be our little workhorse, are you?
He wants you to do the whiskey thing.
He wouldn't be able to afford me, you see.
I wouldn't be able to do that whiskey thing that you want to do.
Why not?
You drink it straight and all.
Have I not taught you how to drink whiskey yet?
No.
No.
You said you would in Vegas and you never did.
Yeah. I didn't want
when
to.
you learned me how to drink a whiskey sour.
Learned you how to, yeah.
Danny, they put a French guy beside me in work to help him with his English.
How's that going for him? Has he left you?
No, he's from our French office in Montpellier, and he's in Dublin for a month. So he comes in the morning, and they put him beside me because they said, Graham, you can help him. And then in the afternoons, he goes off into college in Ballsbridge to learn English. So I won't learn him anything, and he'll go home worser.
He will go home worser. Have you used the word cul-de-sac yet?
I'll use it the next time I see him.
Do just to confuse him.
I says, Michael, you're gonna go home worse, man. I talk in slang, man.
Why are you calling him Michael, Graham? The French for Michael is Michel.
Oh, there you go.
So you should be saying Michel mon ami.
They'll put the accent on and all.
Yeah, exactly. You have. That's how you talk in French, man.
Oui.
What do you need to do?
Oui. How was your week been?
Busy, man. Busy, but like good. You know what I mean? Flat out.
Got a job promotion. You're always in Glasgow.
Say again.
You got a job promotion and you're always in Glasgow.
That's nothing to do with work, Mero. That's just me living the international life of a heel, going on international podcasts. But yeah, no, it's I did get a promotion there a while ago. It's going good. Other than that, man, just commuter life. I'm going back to what I said last week before we had you and McKenna on. Commuters of Ireland, yous are the shower of the dopes. Like, yous are the worst people. Honestly, yous are the worst people in the country. And I, for one, I'm getting to a point where I won't tolerate it anymore. And I'm going to have to start taking action into my own. I actually wound two absolute fucking dogoats crashed on the N7 the other night, right? Where there's roadworks, right?
Is this Monday night?
No, this was Wednesday evening.
What's a dogo?
What's a dogo?
Yeah.
It's a little tick, Graham. It's a goat that's full of dough. Like, I mean, what more do you need? Anyway, so these two absolute fucking dopes decide the section of the M7 that is down to 2 lanes, 60 kilometers an hour. That's when one of them is going to sniff the arse of the other and ram straight up there, causing a fucking tailback that's about 4 kilometers long and adding a very uncomfortable 35 minutes onto my already lengthy commute. I couldn't resist. I wound down the window and I told them what I thought, Merlo.
Did you actually?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Yeah, Oksana was not happy.
Road rage?
Oh God, not in traffic, yeah. Like anything else now, like if somebody cuts across me or whatever, couldn't care less. But traffic, especially when it's caused by something that is just pure stupidity. You know what I mean? Like if somebody does something that causes a tailback, it should be a criminal punishment for them. They should have to take out an advert in the national press apologising to the commuters of Ireland and they should have their licence revoked and be made pay a massive fine. And also, I wouldn't be against a public flogging. That's
I
traffic.
don't get road rage at all, man. I don't care.
If you ever start having to commute like I do, man, you will. I
Yeah,
mean,
probably will. Well, I won't have to commute. I'm
like you,
5 minutes from each
I was
other.
gonna say, man, you've got 5 minutes. Like traffic jam for you is encountering a red light. You know what I mean?
It is.
That's traffic woes for you, man.
And
Traffic.
being at the top of that queue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, being forced at the light and everything, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh no, but people are just idiots. Like that, they've no sense at all of what they're doing. None. These dickheads who go from lane to lane to lane to lane to lane, trying to just get like 5 feet ahead of the other cars. Like, what are you?
By the time you get home on a Friday, do you just not want to see the car again until Monday going to work?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm like, right, that's get away from me now. Just stop. Just no interest.
And have you made any friends down there?
Why would I make friends with the people of Port Leishmore? Oh man.
With the neighbours around?
No interest in talking to these people.
What about the neighbours?
No interest in them whatsoever.
You have to
they'll keep
have a good relationship with neighbours.
I don't have to have a good relationship with anybody. They'll keep themselves to themselves if they know what's good for them. That's all there is to it. Next
Do you have
question.
a good relationship with your neighbours?
Do I have a good relationship with my neighbours?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'd say hello to them.
How long are you there now?
About 4 months.
Jeez, that's at the flying in.
I know, yeah, it has gone quite quick, alright. Like, like it's great, to be honest with you, right? Like, it's actually, look, it's lovely. I actually do like it down here. Like, all jokes aside, right? The commute.
As Oksana's there with a knife in the background.
Exactly, she's just standing out of shot here on camera, just like mouthing at me. You better be nice. Now, look, genuinely, I do like I love the quiet. The quiet is actually. I didn't think I'd like that at first, but to be honest with you, man, it's so fucking peaceful, and it's just so it's just quiet. It's just there's no nothing like because like, there's nothing around you. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no, like it's just peaceful. Like it's just nice. I like it.
You're living in an estate. You're not living in a cottage out on your own, like.
Yeah, man, but that estate is out in basically farms. Like it's outside of Portlaoise town. It's not like in the middle of the town where you still have to hustle and bustle and all that. Like there's no main road or anything nearby. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it's just you're living in an estate, which is great because you know you've got amenities and everything around you, which is handy enough. Like
You have what?
amenities, Graham.
I thought you said you have meanies.
I don't like meanies. Don't be bringing.
You don't like meanies?
I wouldn't thank you for a bag of meanies, and I wouldn't even look at you if you offered me a mega meanie.
What about meanies on a bit of bread? White bread and butter?
Not since I was about 11 years old.
So you did like meanies?
I did, yeah, and then I ate a share bag of meanies and I got sick. So ever since then.
So you didn't share them, did you?
Yeah, no, I shared them with myself. But yeah, no, look, genuinely I am loving it, and it's nice to have like my own space and all that kind of thing. And the dogs love it and all that kind of crack. If I could pick this gaff up and put it in the brack, I would be the happiest boy in the world.
What other do you like?
Say again?
Sorry, you might even what?
I might even turn baby face if that were to happen.
Alright, what other crisps do you like?
Crisps. I'm at the moment I'm loving an L bag of Monster Munch.
The share bag?
Can you get a share bag of Monster Munch?
Yeah.
What?
And waffles.
I know, but the waffle. I love a bag of waffles now.
And snacks.
The only thing about waffles though sometimes is it can be like too salty or something. Bit harsh, you know what I mean?
You mess up your bleeding tongue, can't it?
Yeah. I love an L bag
When
of
you're taking when you're taking the waffles that get stuck in your teeth.
Yeah.
When you're keeping them for later, it just rips your tongue a bit.
Yeah, I love an old bag of Hunky Dory Buffalo.
Oh yeah, but again, they're like waffles. They cut the tongue off you.
They can do, and then I'm on a mad one for bacon fries lately. Skips, did you say?
Yeah.
I'm not a 5-year-old, so couldn't comment. I know they are, yeah. Scapes are the type of crisps that I wouldn't have like from one end of the year to the other, but that one time that they end up in the house, I'm like, gimme them.
They're all share size now as well.
And that's why the world is going, man. That's why the world is going. They're catering
Like,
for people
you
like
don't
me.
share them though.
No, exactly. They're catering for people like me. You know what I mean?
Eat them all.
Come here to me. I put up a thing before we start recording, asking people to send in Instagram questions. We go through a
Was
few
there
of
any?
them.
Yeah, was there any?
It was a good few, yeah. It's a good few. I did answer some of them on Instagram because not everybody on Instagram listens to the podcast. But yeah, so the first one, is, what is this heel thing you keep saying? If you don't
Are
know,
you gonna reveal it? Are you gonna reveal who asked the question or just?
no, they'll remain anonymous because Instagram is anonymous.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
do you know the way when you send a question, like I can see who asked it, but when I share that question, people can't see who asked me that question.
No worries.
So right, yeah, the heel question, that's grand. Is Gary Mackle a real person? Yeah, he is, and he is the WTS Pod official correspondent, of course.
And he is one of the funniest men ever.
He is. He is a man of many talents. Not only is he a renowned and retired interior decorator, but he is also a love doctor, an agony aunt, a confidant, a fantastic lover, and an all-round good guy.
And a brilliant confidant at that as well.
He is. So, is Gary Mackle a real person? He is the realest person, is the answer
And
to that.
follow him on Twitter at Garamackle.
At Gary Mackle, yeah, that's a good show.
The last few weeks, people are tweeting or people saying, "Who is this Gary Mackle lad?"
I
It's the
know,
funniest
yeah,
person.
yeah. It's like it's actually brilliant because Gary should have his own show in many ways because he's just. I love him.
Yeah, I'd say he'd be banned though if he had his own show.
He definitely would be banned if he had his own show. He wouldn't be. He wouldn't be allowed outside the Arklow much. Do you know what I mean? Next question is next live show ?
Next live show. We're doing a live show.
Are we?
Aiming for May.
Hang on. Did one of the dogs shit? It's an awful smell of shit. Sorry.
You talking Oxana
Yeah, I am sorry. Oh, that's what Callie's right on her. I just got this waft of like shit there, and I was like, "Yeah, you see, you see, it's rotten, isn't it?"
The dog's
quite-
farting.
One of them farted, and it is fucking putrid.
And you're not moving them.
Well, I can't move, man. I have me set up here. I'm in me jocks. I've got my laptop on my lap with you and me fucking crotch. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't move. Sorry, right. Next live show. What was your answer to that?
May 2019.
May 2019. You were saying. I'm saying never. People don't deserve to see me live. And then what do we have next? This is one directed right at me, and it's: do you miss being the potato prince?
Oh, do you?
No.
In many ways, the Potato Prince ruined you because on Saturday mornings, 4 Saturdays a month, I'd say 2 to 3 Saturdays. 3 Saturdays, I'd say, I'll get a text message off you at about 7 in the morning on a Saturday because you're up. You don't get long ones like.
I don't know. Like sleeping past, I would say sleeping past 7:30 for me would be like, Jesus, what am I doing?
The Potato Prince era of you.
It did. The year that you're getting up, the year that you're getting up and doing the ridiculous small hours of the morning shift, absolutely destroyed me. Next, I don't know if they were saying this to me or to you, Mero, but it just says my dad would bait your dad.
Nobody would kill Mark Merrow. You leave that there.
It's not really a question. And the person who sent this in, to be quite honest with you, I'm surprised they know who their dad is. So, I don't know, like, usually I would ask postman or milkman, but for this person, I'm going to guess it was the ice cream man. Then there was just a random Bono was a pox. Watch your mouth.
Fact.
Watch your mouth.
It's just fact.
Then there was, you have had many hairstyles over the years. Best and worst one. What do you reckon, Mero?
When you bleached it blonde.
Is that the best?
That was the worst.
No, the worst one I ever had is when I had a green, white, and orange mohawk, man. I done that for the 2002 World Cup.
I remember that. No, that was nice.
No, you were just saying it because there was a tricolour involved. Graham, we've talked about this. Just because it's a tricolour does not make it okay.
It was okay, man. You bleached it blonde and then you just destroyed your hair.
Yeah, more or less, yeah. Best hair
Was that for Draco?
Say again?
Was that for Draco when he bleached it blonde? Did you do it?
No. I think I came into the bleach there many years after Draco, in fairness.
Right.
But best hairstyle then, and that Jason Brophy got his hands on, I would say. That man worked wonders with me, Gruig. Which one of your dogs is your favourite? Whichever one didn't shit at Snappy there a minute ago was the answer to the question.
And your parents got a new dog, Lola?
They did, yeah, Lola, little Labrador. They, I was going to say they've replaced, but you can't replace Cleo. Cleo was Cleo, and may she R.I.P. Long live the walrus and all that.
Your parents will always have dogs, will they?
I think so. We've always been a dog family, like, you know what I mean?
Very good.
So this is the fourth dog they've had in my lifetime, and I turned 31 recently. So they're batting just over the 7-year average, like, which isn't bad for dogs. I mean, that's, you know,
it's pretty good.
And in fairness, one of those dogs ran away. Well, was let out by our neighbour. The neighbour cut a hole in the fence. That's a different story for a different day. And then, the other one, Misty, God bless her, Misty got cancer and passed away. And then, well, Cleo most recently. I'm not going to talk about it or I'll cry. Is Mero actually a lefty, or does he just put that on to be popular?
I'm a socialist.
So he just puts it on to be popular. Who would you rate higher? Roy Keane. They spelled Keane Keene. I don't even want to answer this question anymore. Would you rate Roy Keane's 98-99 higher than Brian O'Driscoll's 2009? No is the answer to that. Nothing was better than Brian O'Driscoll's 2009.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Favourite fast food item?
Fast food item?
Yes, fast food item. I presume they mean fast food, full stop, question mark, whatever the fuck.
Who calls it item?
This fucking Cabbage Patch baby.
This absolute bellend. Fast food item?
Fast food item. Yeah, fast food item.
Favourite fast food item? Big Mac?
I just said spice bag and satay sauce, please. Yeah.
Satay sauce?
Oh, yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Because I'm not a pussy bitch with a nut allergy. I can take it.
Oh, God.
Oh, fucking hashtag heel.
Fast food item.
Yeah. Am I jealous of Mero's beard?
My beard is looking solid these days.
Watch her.
I decided I in the summer I was shaving the sides and leaving the kind of the goatee.
Right.
But as you can see, I'm letting it go, and it's absolutely solid. It's very sexy too.
Yeah, it does. You're getting closer to ISIS membership, in fairness. I'll give you that.
No.
Am I jealous of Mero's beard? No, I've got a fantastic beard of my own. Thank you.
But you don't. You can't grow a moustache, can't you? Know?
That's true. That's by choice, Graham.
Yeah.
I identify.
Puberty never went over the lip, did it?
I identify as part Amish.
Puberty never went over the top lip, did it?
You watch yourself now, will you? Oh, fucking that's what she said moment. But anyway, so am I jealous of Mero's beard? No. Next question.
You always used to be.
Am I jealous of Mero? That person has since been blocked and unfollowed. I'm jealous of nobody. I'm the best in the world. Like, how are you feeling about Mero's podcast tour? Mero, why don't you just give the people a quick run through of your tour recently, please?
Well, I asked you that question.
It's meant to be anonymous crime.
Yeah, I asked
This
you that question
this
because
this is the
I was just annoying.
this is the opportunity for you to say I've been on this podcast and that was fun. And I was on this podcast and that was a bit of crack. And then most recently I was on this. Do you know what I mean? This for you to get the plug in, right?
This is the podcast tour I'm on, but what's Tom Mandy's podcast called again?
Oh, I'm not fucking telling you.
I'm only joking. I'm on Bookshot this week.
You're on what?
The Bookshot podcast.
Bugshot.
Book.
Okay. Just double checking you weren't calling a bug shot there. I was like, what the fuck are you, Timon and Pumbaa? Come on, right. Next.
What else? What's next?
What other podcasts are we on?
Oh, he was on the Magic Minds podcast with Matt Burke, and I was on Adam Burke's Youth Pod Ireland podcast.
Right,
I was on 3.
Right, so two of those were guests on this podcast. Guests that I suggested, that you don't know, that you never knew. I brought them into your life.
You need to take this up with them.
I've nothing to take up with them.
You sound just a bit bitter there. There's a few lemons there coming up out here.
Don't you be calling me bitter. I'm not bitter about this at all. If I wanted to go on somebody's podcast, I would simply walk up to their studio, kick their door down, take a mic, and watch them sit back while I take over. Right?
Settle down there, Stone Cold, will you?
Right? Bookshot would be my podcast if I wanted it to.
I was just staring at you there. I'm just focused on your...
Don't say it! Don't fucking say it, Merlo.
I'm just fascinated by it now that I mentioned it. Your lack of puberty on your top lip.
Listen, right, there are hairs there, right?
Do you ever shave it even?
Do
you ever need to shave it?
I shave it once in every 4 times that I have a shave. Oh, fucking hell. So how do I feel about Meryl's podcast tour? The same way I feel after a bowel movement. Relieved and glad it's gone away from me.
Oh, very good.
Is it true you are George Manley's love child? No comment. I'll plead the 5th.
Image of him.
You watch your mouth, you. You watch your mouth.
And Cambo's closed. Cara Cambo was bought out.
You were saying that to me. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't understand why they'd buy out Cambo, to be honest with you.
Someone bought Cambo, some other restaurant, and now they are still going under Cambo.
They're keeping the name Cambo.
I think it's called Yums Cambo or something.
Yums. Oh, that's what the. For people who aren't from Ballybrack, Cambo is one of the 3 Chinese restaurants in a 2-kilometer radius. It's like two square kilometers. There's 3 fucking Chinese, a chipper, and a pizzeria.
Do you like prawns, Danny?
I wouldn't thank you for a prawn.
Oh yeah, I like prawns, man.
I know. I remember when we had PJ Gallagher on, and he was describing the fact that he would lick the salty balls off a prawn. You were nearly salivating at the thought of prawns and PJ licking them. I'm a steak man myself. Any other questions there? There are a couple. How's the lovely Oksana? Sure, she's with me. She's fucking flying. Dream podcast guest. You got asked this. You put up a question thing recently, and you got asked that as well. Who did you say?
See, I've loads of dream podcast guests.
Mine changes as well. Yeah.
Mine changes there and then when the question was asked. I'd love to interview Mary McAleese.
Right.
About her, just when she was president, she did a lot of cross-border unity stuff, and I'd love to talk to her about that.
Yeah.
President Higgins, obviously, which we've asked before, and we actually got a lovely response back.
We did, yeah. We were politely declined.
Yeah. Roy Keane, Jerry Adams, and Vince McMahon.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on Vince McMahon. I would imagine that would be unbelievable.
It'd be very intense, I'd imagine.
I'd love Vince
We'd be
McMahon.
expecting the Mr. McMahon character.
Yeah, I would. If he didn't power strut into the studio, I'd be like, sorry, can you leave and come back in? Just try that again for me there, can you?
We'd be like, sorry lads, the Vince McMahon interview, we didn't get it over the line because we asked him to do the strut.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Vinnie Mac as well. That's a good one. I like that. I'm gonna say Bruce Springsteen because I love Bruce Springsteen. Brian O'Driscoll and do you know who I'd love to get in the podcast?
Who?
And like this is a dream one, but this one that might call in a favour or two from a couple of people who are in the know. Tommy Tiernan.
Oh, class. That'd be unreal.
I'd love to get Tommy on the podcast. I'd say he's fucking mad. But like I'd say he's
Oh,
just like in a beautiful way. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean mad as in
yeah.
like he just but I mean like he seems like a beautiful person. You know what I mean?
Big time. That'd be class. I went to see him
Yeah.
live there this year up in Fitzpatrick's Castle Hotel, and he was brilliant.
Yeah. I'm happy with that answer now. Happy with that.
You
O'Driscoll,
named no,
Springsteen. Say again?
no women there.
Yeah, so
I'm
what's
just
that?
asking.
What's your point? Well, are you trying
Uh,
to
that-
make me out to be a sexist, Graham?
oh, absolutely.
I mean, you can try all you want, but I mean, I have put plenty of female guests on this podcast.
Just asking. Is there none on your dream guest list? That's all.
Well, so you put one female on it and you think you're better than me?
Yeah, I am better than
Oh, Merlo, you spend too much time with Tom and Matt and you think you're a comedian now.
you. Go on.
Right, hang on now. We'll go back to the questions here. You recently turned 31. Will you outdo Jesus? Like, in what way? Like, I don't know. Merlo, what are you now? 34?
34, yeah.
So you've outdone Jesus.
What was Jesus? 33?
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. So
You're a bigger success than Jesus. And I'm bigger than Jesus. So you know what I mean? And I mean that in a physical sense. I don't think Jesus was 6'2" and 27 stone. So he was probably 5'4", greasy and bald. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
He did come from a part of the world that isn't exactly renowned for its height.
If he existed.
Fair comment. That was actually the last question that I have so far. So yeah, I'm just going to tag Brian O'Driscoll in that one, and you never know, he might
You might like it.
if he does. Yeah. Did I ever tell you about the time that I sent him? I thanked him in the thank you notes of me master's thesis, and he replied to me.
No, what did he say?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I can't remember what I done. It was just it was in me phase of still being an attention seeker, and I had something like.
Yeah, out of that phase.
What are you suggesting, Graham?
What are you joking?
I can't remember what I think I had something like I think it was the year Leinster had won a third Heineken Cup, which then meant they had bragging rights over Munster, who only had 2 Heineken Cups. And I think I wrote something like, thank you to Brian O'Driscoll and Leinster Rugby for providing bragging rights over the evil of the boggers in Munster Rugby. And I just sent him a thing of it, and he just tweeted me back being like, LOL, very funny. Congratulations on the Masters. And I printed
And what
it.
was this?
And I printed
Where
it
was this?
on the Twitter bot.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. If somebody wants to scroll through my Twitter feed, no, actually, I'm not inviting people to do that. Fucking God knows what they'll unearth.
Jeez, exactly.
Jesus. I go through fucking Facebook every day deleting what I said 10 years ago. So, like.
Oh, it's cringy. Sometimes the memories, like.
Yeah, stop. That's it. Every day I see that memory thing, I'm like, what did I say? Oh, Danny, you're a fucking dope. Dilly.
Nobody sees that. But come here, remember when Facebook first started, it was like you would do the status update as if you were thinking, because it was the question, what are you thinking? And it'd be like, Graham Errigan is thinking, and then you'd be like, Graham Errigan is, and you'd finish the sentence. It was bloody cringy.
I do remember that, yeah. I
just delete them when I see them.
I seen one the other day that I deleted, and I don't know if it was me trying to be funny, or I don't know if it was me being genuinely curious but not fucking clever enough to Google, and it was like, do iPods get heavier the more songs that go on them? And for a minute I was like, wait, do they? And then I was like, Danny, you're a fucking idiot. So, yeah.
Oh, for God's sake, Danny.
I know, man. I know. Hang on now. Just adding me little goat emoji to me Brian O'Driscoll answer on Instagram there. There we go now. There we go now.
Sorry, excuse me.
You all right there, eh?
Coughing on me guts, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, man, like, a bit worried about you there for a minute or two.
I'm okay.
Did you just flex your beard at me?
Yeah.
The fuck is your problem?
Because it's looking unreal.
You're looking great, but it was great to see you on Monday. You looked very fresh. Very fresh.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's all my Instagram stories, or my Instagram questions for this week.
So we're gone an hour, are we?
Jesus, we are. Didn't even notice that. Did not even notice that, man. We must have talked some amount of shite. Like,
as always.
As always, man. As always. So what are the key takeaways in this podcast, Mero? Listen to Mother She Wrote. Listen to Bookshop.
Yeah. Listen to... Have you listened to that podcast, Teacher's Pet? I heard it's good.
Never even heard of it. What is it?
Yeah. About teachers... I actually don't know. Teachers in Australia. Right. I don't know why I think this, but I think it's about... No, I don't sound like a dope, but I think it's about teachers.
No, that was too late for that, bud.
Right there. I'm just going to... I want to see what it is about.
Right, well, while he's looking that up, I'll remind people that they can listen to us on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Podbean, Podcast Republic, Podcast Addict, anywhere and everywhere. There's a podcast, including Spotify. All they have to do is search WTS Pod and they can get all previous 164 plus episodes. On top of that, if they log on to WTSpod.com, they don't even have to scroll that far. Everything is just categorized for them nice and neatly, and they can also read our bios, which is great to do. Great to do if I don't say so myself. You can go to facebook.com/WTSPod Ireland to get us on Facebook. We're on Twitter at WTSPod. He's at American Mania, and I'm at Dan Joe Murray. And you can get us on Instagram as well. You can give us a follow and you can get involved with our little questions like that before. And we're also on Patreon, which we're ignoring for far too long. But if you head over to patreon.com/WTSPod, you can support the podcast too, and you can help us do that live show that is coming May 2019, allegedly. And if you are a Patreon supporter, you will get priority access to the show.
The Teacher's Pet podcast is Australian. It's documenting the disappearance of 33-year-old Lynette Dawson from Sydney's northern beaches. She's not been seen since January 1982, when her husband Chris Dawson said that she had taken a break to think about their relationship. Two coroners recommended over the years that Chris be charged with the wife's murder. Nobody has ever been charged in connection with Lynn's disappearance. Now, 36 years on, police have begun a 5-day forensic dig at her home, and the home that they shared with their two daughters.
So it's a true crime podcast.
It's a true crime podcast, but it's supposed to be very, 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 very good.
I don't know them.
I haven't listened to any of the true crime ones.
I've tried to listen to some of them, but to be honest with you, man, I wasn't sleeping the best after trying to listen to them, so I just said no.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd give it a shot anyway. But I just wanted to see if you were listening to it.
No, I had that. That's the first I ever heard of it, to be God's honest.
You know the outro, sure. Fair play to you.
I know, you got it in there while you were off doing a bit of research that you could have done before the episode like a professional, but you're too busy gallivanting with other podcasts. Well, I'm not, no judgment. No judgment, Graham.
Oh, my podcast tour will continue with any podcast who wants me. Contact my agent at Danjo Murray on Twitter. Thank you.
Do, and you'll get a mouthful of abuse and you'll get my appearance fee in return, which I can tell you right now, you will not be able to afford. Mero, it has been a pleasure, my friend, and it was great to see you last week. It was. Next week, we shall return, and yeah, until then, lads, the outro's done. So, Mero.
Clear eyes.
Full hearts.
Can't lose. Too sweet.
Too sweet, baby. #heal. That was grand. That was full hour, basically.